Stay in touch with us on Facebook and Instagram at Unique Yet Connected. You are now listening to episode 82 of Unique Yet Connected podcast. The theme for this episode is The Ghost in the Boardroom.
Have you ever had a promising business relationship unravel and you couldn't quite explain why? A trusted partner suddenly turns cold. A third person appears, and what once felt like alignment starts to rot from the inside. But what if the real betrayer didn't start in the boardroom, but way back in the breakdown of your first marriage?
Welcome to Unique Yet Connected podcast. I'm Nolitha Fenton, Idolokazi, the explorer of the unseen, the unheard, and the untold. The space holder, seeker, and sacred witness in the work of systemic family constellations. I'm not alone. I'm with Kinga and Nick. Over to you, Kinga.
Thank you, Noli. Hello, Nick, dear listeners and co-editors. This is where we explore the hidden patterns that shape our lives. I am Kinga Siladi, facilitator and guide through the field where unseen truths rise to the surface. Together, we walk the invisible terrain of the family soul, where the wisdom that speaks is when the system reveals itself.
Thank you for joining our movement of translating this wisdom of systemic family constellations into a practical language that all of us can easily understand and, most importantly, implement in our daily lives. Today's story, The Ghost in the Boardroom, takes us into a business partnership ruined by betrayal. But what we found in the constellation surprised everyone. This isn't just about business. It's about grief, unfinished goodbyes, and an old marriage that still echoed through the deals. Our client came in with what seemed like a classic story. He had started several promising business partnerships. The beginnings were great vision aligned, energy high. Then always someone new would enter, a third party. This person would bring chaos, betrayal, manipulation, jealousy, and the results? The partnership would crumble. He was tired of starting over, tired of watching what he built fall apart.
In the systemic constellations, we listen beneath the story. We don't just ask, what is happening? We ask, where have we seen this before? We began with three key elements: the client, the original business partner, the third person who always appeared. What emerged quickly was this: the third person wasn't the true disruptor. Their presence was simply the symptom. When we turned into the field, the business partnership didn't feel like a business partnership. It felt like a marriage.
With the first wife.
Exactly. The end of his first marriage still lived in him. It wasn't digested. The guilt, the grief, the feeling that it had failed and that he had failed. All of that was carried into every new partnership.
So, who was the real perpetrator?
Surprisingly, not the third party. The third party was a stand-in for something unresolved. The real tension was in how the client viewed his first marriage as a failure. And because of that story, he had given over too much power to his ex-wife. He carried shame. That power dynamic burdened her. It burdened their children. And it showed up in his business partnerships as a deep mistrust, especially when someone new entered the space. You are still listening to episode 82. The theme is The Ghost in the Boardroom. Remember, when you comment, ask questions, like and share our content and links, you help us grow and change lives together. Like us on Facebook and on Instagram.
So in trying to avoid betrayal, he recreated it.
Yes, and it wasn't conscious, but in the constellation, the third person had no real power over him. He had already surrendered his power long before.
So what changed, Kings?
In the constellations, we invited him to stand in fully as a father and a former husband, not as a failure. To face his ex-wife, not as someone who overpowered him, but as an equal partner in what was. And to release the story that the marriage should have lost it. Because when we carry the shame of a past ending, we start to fear beginnings.
And that affects business.
Absolutely. We avoid true connection or we cling too tightly. We invite people who echo unresolved dynamics. But once he could honor what was, he became free to choose what is.
So if you are listening and your business relationship keep breaking in the same way, ask yourself, is there a family story where I haven't forgiven? Am I carrying shame that's shaping how I relate? Who am I still calling a perpetrator long after the story ended?
Healing our family systems doesn't just repair the past. It frees our future. It lets us partner from our full selves, not through our unhealed self.
Because as the field knows, we are always connected, whether we see it or not. Thank you for listening to Unique Yet Connected. We invite you to pause today and reflect. Where are you still carrying the past into your present?
Thank you for your contribution in helping us to be chosen into the top 10 South Africa Family Podcast by FeedSpot. Join our monthly virtual connection circle every first Tuesday evening of the month. To receive your link, subscribe on our website www.uniqueyetconnected.com or check for updates on our socials at uniqueyetconnected.
In the next episode, we still share with you how the field reveals the roots, the repetition, and the release.
And along the way, we will guide you in understanding how this work can support your own healing, because the field doesn't just know my story, it knows yours too.
So take a deep breath, open your heart, and join us as we share with you what the field knows.
Because sometimes what you are searching for isn't outside of you. It is waiting quietly in the field for you to remember. If you feel like you are experiencing limiting patterns or relationship issues and would like to have an individual session, book a family constellation session with us on our website www.uniqueyetconnected.com or on our socials, Facebook or Instagram. Our handle on both platforms is @uniqueyetconnected.
A big thank you to you for listening to our episode, and to Nick Mons from That Guy Productions for making us sound fabulous and on point. Episode 83 is in 2 weeks' time from now. Tune in on the 2nd of November 2025 from 10 a.m. South African Standard Time. For links and updates, stay tuned to our Facebook and Instagram pages at Unique Yet Connected. Unique spelled YOUNIQUE. Stay unique, stay connected, and remember you are one of a kind, and we can only create a really meaningful podcast together. Siyabulela, Kosonom, Bayadangi.
Thank you, Siyabulela, Kusunum.